Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on CNBC.com written by Jessica Dickler titled, "60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck heading into the holidays, report finds." According to the author, as of October, 60% of adults said they are living paycheck to paycheck, according to a new Lending Club report. The author goes on to say that overall, 4 in 10 consumers consider themselves worse off relative to 2022. What is interesting is the author cites a separate survey conducted by CNBC in August that found 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. I'm always a little skeptical of generalizing the results of studies, especially if they have small sample sizes. But it is interesting that 2 separate studies peg the number of Americans living paycheck to paycheck in the 60% vicinity. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Think about all of the houses on your street and then visualize that 6 out of 10 are living paycheck to paycheck. That is a scary thought. Now, I'm sure some of you live in a gated community with multimillionaires for neighbors, so this may not be relevant to everyone. For the rest of you, visualizing this really makes this message hit home. I can understand why so many people are living paycheck to paycheck, though. Many haven't seen their wages keep pace with inflation. The cost of things in life that matter have gotten very expensive, such as shelter and food. While energy is down as per the latest CPI report, that doesn't provide enough relief for some households. The fact that the cost of shelter has continued to increase may be one reason why many Generation Z individuals are still living with their parents, at least in Mobile, Alabama, where a recent study was conducted. I read an article today on yahoo.com put out by WKRG and written by Thomas Bonney titled, "Many Gen Z Mobilians or Zoomers Still Live with Parents, Study." For those of you wondering the age range for Generation Z, it is 11 to 26 years of age. Now, I understand that those 11 to 17 are still living with their parents, but what in the world is going on with those who are 18 to 26? According to the author, in Mobile, Alabama, a whopping 81% of Zoomers still live with mom and dad, moving out 3 times slower than millennials. With that said, Gen Zers in Mobile, Alabama are falling behind previous generations in flying the nest. While you might think this is a fluke only happening in Mobile, Alabama, it apparently is not. The author of this article went on to reference information from IPUMS. Apparently, 68% of the more than 33 million adult Gen Zers in the country still depend on others in the household. In Raleigh, North Carolina, 87% of Gen Zers are living at home. Unfortunately, this article does not cite specifics regarding why so many Gen Zers are living at home. I personally believe it is because many are struggling with inflation. Many are not earning enough money to afford an overpriced apartment, along with all of the other expenses in life. Some of the commenters beneath this article align with my thinking. I'll share some of the comments with you. One commenter writes, 52 million jobs, or 32%, pay less than $15 an hour. This is the problem. Another commenter writes, most do not want to work 7 days a week to get their lives started. Well, I can understand that. Who wants to work 7 days a week? In some cases, young people are working multiple jobs in this gig economy already. I'm curious, do you know young adults in Generation Z? If so, what financial obstacles are they facing that may have impeded them living on their own? Tell me about it in the comments section below. Apparently, high rent prices and sky-high grocery bills aren't going unnoticed. I read an article today on CNBC written by Christina Wilkie titled, "Yellen Says High Food and Rent Prices Key Factors in Voters' Negative Economic Outlook." According to the article, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen pointed to the consistently higher prices that Americans pay for food and rent today compared with pre-pandemic levels as a major factor driving voters' negative outlook on the economy. Well, gee, thanks, Janet Yellen. I don't think you need a doctorate in economics from Yale University like her to figure that one out. Many people in America are struggling right now. I'm glad that our Treasury Secretary at least has her pulse on the matter. Now, here's a quote of hers that I don't agree with. She said, "We're making considerable progress in bringing inflation down, but Americans do notice higher prices from what they used to be accustomed to." Well, I don't think they are making considerable progress in bringing inflation down. If you look up the word considerable in the dictionary, the definition is notably large in size, amount, or extent. Let me ask you this. Have you experienced a notably large drop in inflation? Have you seen a notably large drop in your rent? How about your car insurance or home insurance? How about the food that you buy at the grocery store? How about the prices at the fast food restaurant? Guess what? Many of those prices went up and probably won't be coming back down. Some of that may be due to greedflation. Greedflation is when prices go up so that companies can boost their profit margin even though they don't need to. If companies are able to do business cheaper now, do you think they're going to lower their prices? It's unlikely unless their sales slow and they absolutely have to. Now that's just my opinion, but what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Apparently, there are some people who are still spending money during this period of high inflation. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Christine Russell titled, "Mattel Releases and Then Sells Out of the New Mariah Carey Barbie in One Day." According to the author, the doll retails for $75, but resellers on eBay and Amazon have already listed them at nearly double the original price. Who would have known that a Mariah Carey Barbie would be in such high demand? Maybe this is like the Turbo Man action figure doll from the Jingle All the Way 1996 movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you've never seen that movie, you should really check it out. I really enjoyed that movie. It's a great holiday film. Back in 1983, I won a Cabbage Patch doll as part of a drawing. This was during the Cabbage Patch mania when there were riots at stores because people were going crazy trying to buy a Cabbage Patch doll. It never made much sense to me. After I won that doll from the drawing, I had offers to buy it. I decided to give it to my sister. I should have sold it and used the money to buy Home Depot stock, which was up 114% in 1983. I could have sold that stock in 1984 and then bought TSRI and realized a 247% return. Then I could have bought a 1984 Star 101 Michael Jordan rookie card. That would be worth a lot more money than that old Cabbage Patch doll in my sister's closet. According to SportsCardsPro.com, a grade 9.5 1984 number 101 Michael Jordan rookie card is worth $148,500. I'm not into sports cards, so who knows what one is really worth. Maybe some of you own one. I don't know. If you do, tell me about it in the comment section below. If you are old like me and you remember the Cabbage Patch Mania in 1983, tell me about that in the comment section below as well. For those of you who remember 1983, you probably remember the days when a human would check you out at the grocery store instead of having to use a self-checkout machine. I personally hate the self-checkout machines. Given the amount of money charged at stores today, I feel like a human should check me out. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Eric Ravel titled, "Grocery Store Chain Ditches Self-Checkout After Shopper Backlash." According to the author, British supermarket chain Booths is removing nearly all of its self-checkout kiosks at stores in response to customer feedback. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I hope this trend manifests itself here in the United States of America. Let's get back to the good old days where humans were happy to see you at the checkout aisle and often knew your name. The author of this article goes on to quote Booth's managing director, Nigel Murray, who said, "We like to talk to people. We're really proud that we're moving largely to a place where our customers are served by people, by human beings. So rather than artificial intelligence, we're going for actual intelligence. In my opinion, this is great. Even if this means my grocery prices go up a few cents for each item, I don't care. I'd rather have that human experience. I also don't like touching those self-checkout screens that are probably covered in germs from all of the human fingers that touch them all day. It's kind of like buttons at the gas station or buttons in the elevator. Do you know how dirty those are? I'd just rather have a human checking me out at the grocery store. A store employee can more quickly weigh my fruits and my vegetables and type in the correct code on the screen. This can reduce the amount of time that I need to spend at the grocery store. I'd also rather have a human bagging my groceries. If that's your job all day, every day, then you can probably pack my groceries better than I can. I'm curious, would you like to see self-checkout lanes removed at stores? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or with your friends via email. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.